Welcome to the WuBlockchain podcast. For the latest blockchain and crypto insights, subscribe to WuBlockchain on YouTube and follow us on Twitter. Stay informed and join the conversation. Today, we are excited to welcome Tom, the CEO of Hologram. Could you briefly introduce yourself and your background and walk us through how Holoworld came to be?
Hi guys, my name is Tong. I'm the founder of Hologram. My background is always in AI and tech development. I started out working in a robotics company called Bright Machines in San Francisco. There we were working on AI robotics, such as robotic arms, and I was building AI models and software to enable robotic operators to use AI to automate those robotic arm instructions. And then afterwards, I joined Xerox Labs. Xerox being the creator of Matcha, which is the DEX. I was working on DEX and building better user experiences for crypto, like new crypto users. So that's how I joined crypto as well, through that job. I joined through the NFT bull cycle, and I actually became really deeply involved in NFTs. First NFT I bought was Loot, and I actually started a hologram with just an idea where NFT was 2D at the time, and I just thought, why cannot not be used as like a live streaming avatar, because everyone is using NFT JPEGs as their brands, their PFPs on Discord, on Twitter. So from that simple idea came to be Hologram in 2022. We built a demo that quickly went viral with Cool Cats, like a live streaming Cool Cats avatar. And later we ended up partnering with brands like Pudgy Penguins, Milady, and 25 other NFT IPs, as well as Web2 brands like L'Oreal and Bilibili. So that was the earliest iteration of Hologram Labs and how we came to be.
So what prior experience or chance led you to focus on the intersection of AI and crypto?
So actually, when we built our earliest demo with a hologram in 2022, we were actually already using AI in the form of computer vision. We deployed a complete face tracking model into the browser, and we were actually one of the earliest AI crypto companies to focus on the consumer side. And then when LLM came out, I think one of the most popular Web2 platforms is Character AI. And actually, it unlocked our vision long-term for basically enabling anyone to create their virtual AI persona with their NFTs, their character, their brand, their IPs. So how it intersects with crypto is very natural, because I think in crypto, the memes and IPs play a large role in creating very sticky cults that ultimately drive the value of the token. So from the community perspective, I think AI unlocks a way for these cults to create a lot more memorable experiences and content that really brings together community in Web3. And then also from the on-chain perspective, enabling communities to have ownership of their IP, that is another angle which on-chain is perfectly suited for.
So Holoworld has developed a rich suite of products, including the Hologram Extension, Agent Creator, Ava Studio, and now Hololaunch. Can you recap the evolution of these products and the key milestones achieved for each? We can start with Hologram Extension.
Hologram Extension was the earliest hologram product. It enables any NFT holder to use their NFTs avatars on Google Meet and then on Zoom on any video platform. That was the first iteration, which uses computer vision and tracks the user's face with the camera on their laptop. And then from there, we realized that users, a lot of people, when they want to create content, when they want to, do marketing, they themselves are not extroverted, or they don't have the personality required to be a content creator. But actually, majority of people are introverted. So from there, we actually evolved to enabling people to create AI-focused IPs and characters. This way, they can also automate the personality and memory creation for their character. They can create the ideal form. If they're introverted, they can create an extroverted version that can help them do the marketing, do the brand, do the content creation. And then, so that came to be the agent creator. And then the next evolution for that is really Ava Studio, which is with the latest advancements now in AI video technology, with the latest models like VO3. Now anybody can create cinematic content with just text. Where Ava Studio comes in is really enabling these existing IPs and communities to use their character consistent IP in a way that's never before possible. So now before, we had to help brands create 3D models that are then used for character consistent content. But now AI can basically generate everything in minutes. So Ava Studio is the latest iteration where you can have a Pudgy Penguin character, and we can enabling that Pudgy to be in a cinematic film in minutes with text. And then lastly, for the Launchpad, Hololaunch, we having been around for many years, we also have connected with the top brands in Web3 as well as many in Web2. Latest recently, we collaborated with the top virtual human IP from Japan called Mirai. And we helped them launch a Mirai project on chain. We realized our intersection between, we really sit at the intersection of Web2 and Web3, and our Launchpad is meant to facilitate any Web2 major IP to onboard Web3 through tokenization, through building a community. We help them walk through the entire process from narrative building to marketing to go-to-market. As well as we help new Web3 teams to launch on-chain IPs with all of our AI technology stack as a service. So this is a summary for our latest Launchpad. Focus on IPs and content-based brands.
So among these, what is the current strategy focus of the team? Has the product priorities shifted recently?
Hologram, the vision has always been the same, to be the go-to platform to create virtual characters and virtual IPs. And then, but I think the scope of our coverage really expanded since our formation, meaning that right now we're an ecosystem, an app store, to enable any agentic IPs and agentic apps to be built. Starting with our flagship applications like Ava Studio and Ava IP. And then next is Mirai, which is also like a recent collaboration. We want Holo to be the go-to place for anyone to create virtual IPs, with the full support of our ecosystem products like Ava Studio, like Hologram Extension, and Agent Creator.
When did you first decide to build a Launchpad? Was it driven by user data or a broader shift in your strategy direction?
We decided to build a Launchpad after helping Mirai, which is from AWW, the top virtual human studio from Japan. We helped them to basically create the largest AI agent pre-sale in the Web3 space. Around 13 million was raised in around 24 hours, and we stopped the pre-sale early and returned 50% to ensure the market cap started at a reasonable price. We realized that there's a large demand for this from both the Web2 IP side as well as new Web3 teams to really launch in a way that is seamless, using AI to do marketing, using AI to do go-to-market and community. So yeah, really from the user demand.
There are already quite a few launchpads in the market like Pump Farm, Let's Bonk, and Virtuals, which targets AI agents specifically. Which do you consider most innovative? Who do you see as your closest competitor?
I think the different flavors of Launchpad really covers different types of users within the ecosystem. For example, Pump Farm being the earliest really targets meme coin creators. Bonk really targets like CTO, like a type of creators, and then Virtuals really target, I think, general just AI agents. With regards to Holo, I think our focus is on a different types of audience, is around Web2 companies and IPs that really want to onboard Web3, as well as Web3 companies that really want to leverage IP as their core differentiator. And how we really can outcompete is through the ecosystem of our products that are already live. For example, Ava Studio, there's a direct incentive program for creators to create and then bring more value to the projects that they're supporting. And since right now, for example, video is the largest driver for marketing for demand with platforms like TikTok, like IG Reels, that are driving way more views than actually Twitter. I think we're the only Launchpad that enables any new project to directly tap into that type of mindshare and traffic through our technology. So that's a summary for like Hololaunch and how we're positioned against others in the ecosystem.
How do you view the evolution of Launchpads in the AI plus on-chain space specifically?
Launchpads right now are evolving similar to other tech niches in that now there's more verticalized focus on different types of audience. For example, Believe is hyper-focused on Web2 SaaS builders and Web2 founders who want to use Web3 as a leverage, as a means of fundraising. And their branding really communicates that very well. It's very clean. It's very Web2 friendly. I think, yeah, greater verticalization and greater focus on niche of different types of creators is the number one thing I see in the evolution. More than just another one that has like unclear focus and general meme. But I think the ones that are gonna appear next are gonna focus on different types of audiences and do the best for them.
How does Hololaunch plan to differentiate itself in this highly competitive launchpad space? What's your core edge? Technology, user network, or ecosystem depth?
It's a mix of technology and network effects. Holo being, I think, really focused on IP partnerships since our formation. We have an untapped network of Web2 and Web3 IPs that are prime like focus for creator side of our Launchpad. Similarly, our technology enables the community members, the users, to become creators and to become the largest advocates of the projects, thereby using content creation and using mindshare creation to drive up mindshare, and then to contribute directly to the price of the tokens on the platform. So everything is built in. Incentives for creators to create videos that drive mindshare, as well as a way for new IPs and in Web2 and Web3 space to onboard on-chain.
What role will the Holo token play in Hololaunch? Are there mechanisms like fee buybacks or staking incentives to build a flywheel?
Yeah, so I think for Hololaunch is the core launchpad that essentially enables new projects to be created in the Holoworld ecosystem. And you can think of Holoworld as the app store for different types of AI applications and IPs that are initially launched from Launchpad. And there are flywheels that are built in from Holoworld products like Ava Studio to directly enable a new Hololaunch projects to be able to go to market and to be able to basically create a larger mindshare. For example, I mentioned earlier with Ava Studio, creators are incentivized to actually create content and post it on different platforms. And the more engagement they're able to get on platforms like Twitter, but also TikTok and IG Reels that are talking about the projects launched on Hololaunch, they're able to actually be incentivized and get rewarded from their creations. So this is just one of the examples of a flywheels that will be available on Hololaunch.
Mm-hmm. How do Holo and AVA token differ in utility or benefits for users and creators? Will they serve separate functions across products?
Yes. So Holo token is the primary token driving the ecosystem growth of the Holoworld agentic app store. If you think about it in the form of an app store, we want to enable anyone to create agentic IPs and apps in the seamless manner. And Holo token essentially enables new community members to participate in the launches of the new applications, as well as to power the network that drives these applications. So it's really infrastructure and application infrastructure a network token that's focused on the success of all the apps across the ecosystem. And then Ava Studio is the flagship app. It's the first app that's available on Holo App Store, meaning Ava Studio, being an AI video creation platform, has like a direct way to drive distribution into new projects launched on Hololaunch. For example, with the new project, creators are incentivized through Ava Studio to create content and then drive mindshare to the new projects. So in summary, Ava Studio being the primary app token for Ava being the primary app token for Ava Studio, and the Ava AI framework. The framework being audiovisual capabilities like image and video generation, which is used as distribution flywheel that drives more usage and views across all Hololaunch projects. And then Holo token is the network currency and the primary token that enables participants to be able to join the launches on the Hololaunch projects.
Ava Studio's AI generative video content, even called the intention of Elon Musk, compared to tools like Runway or Pika, what are Ava Studio's competitive advantages? Where do you see the strongest moat?
Ava Studio is different from Runway, Pika, and other video platforms in that it aggregates every latest model. It's one-stop shop for consumers to access every possible model. So actually, Runway, Pika are supported on Ava Studio. Not only that, Ava Studio is also an agent, similar to in Web2, similar to Manus, where the agent helps the users to choose the best model. It helps the user to compose models like image, video, sound, music into one complete flow, and help them create a complete piece of production content that is ready to go, ready to be posted. So if you use Runway to create a video, you're gonna get one clip at a time, but you still need to go to CapCut or another platform to inject music, to inject multiple scenes to actually create a complete piece of content. But you can do basically everything in Ava Studio. You never need to go out of the platform to create your first TikTok, your first cinema production, because it has every model and it's agentic in that it helps you choose what is the best model for your ideas.
Ava Studio is currently invite only. Is that to manage quality, cost, or due to infrastructure constraints? When do you expect to make it fully open to the public?
Ava Studio is now actually in open beta as we speak, so no longer invite only. And right now, the core focus is to have as many serious creators on the platform as possible. So our core focus is really to be able to enable creators to give us feedback so that the product can be more polished. This way, the product is more ready to go on a mainstream. So, and then at the same time, Ava Studio is also available on mobile. So it's also directly usable by people who are coming in from TikTok and IG to be able to create on their phones.
Are you planning to offer APIs or stacks for pro users and studios?
Yes, APIs and SDKs are on the roadmap for Ava Studio. And there will be many custom flows where users can directly create videos from their own workflows. For example, from tweet to video or from PDF to video, and many of these custom use cases will be supported via API as well.
And any plans to integrate into existing production pipelines like Premiere, Resolve, or AE?
So it's not on the core focus of our roadmap for this type of integration because Ava Studio is actually facilitating a new workflow for a new type of creator, more so than the existing Premiere Resolve type of creators, meaning that we believe AI video and AI content is actually a completely different workflow. And it opens up to an entire new class of people that is way more accessible than the current users who need to spend up to years to learn the ins and outs of Premiere. So while I think we're open to that idea, it's not on our focus at the moment.
How do you envision combining Ava Studio with Hololaunch to let creators free leverage AI tools in their launch process?
Yes, Ava Studio is the primary distribution funnel for the new projects launched on Hololaunch to gain mindshare on different platforms. You can imagine every project that is launched on Hololaunch will have IP mascot that helps to resonate with the users, that helps speak as the brand ambassador for the project. And Ava Studio essentially enables infinite variations of content to be created by the community. And there is also a built-in incentive loop that enables the creators using Ava Studio to be benefiting from their content taking off, going viral, and then bringing more value to the project.
Will Launchpad projects be able to generate agents or promote videos directly through Ava? Could this become a no-code AI plus launch stack?
Holoworld already has a no-code platform, agent creator, that enables anyone to create agent and then to be used on Ava Studio as the primary character. So yes, and we already have the product to show for it.
With so many core components, AI generation, Launchpad tokens, how do you plan to align incentives across users, creators, developers, and investors?
So the Holo token is the core to enabling infrastructure providers like projects to host MCP servers. That brings more utility to the agents created on the Holoworld ecosystem. For example, for new projects, if they want to make accessible their APIs, these could be APIs for financial data, these could be APIs for on-chain or off-chain data. If they want this data to be accessible from the agents on Holoworld ecosystem, they can stake Holo to be able to enable their service to be made. And then the amount of queries that are used that are generated using their MCP servers, they can also be incentivized by the amount of queries that they're driving. So that's one way. And then basically staking Holo enables the new users to participate in the different Launchpad projects when they launch, and then this actually is beneficial for the project creators as well, because these are long-term incentivized holders that are also looking to have a longer time view for their project and actually are big believers.
Are there any upcoming partnerships or ecosystem interactions, whether on the content side or infrastructure, that you can share with us?
Yes. So I think one large partner is Pudgy Penguins. For example, I think with Pudgy Penguins, we recently already ran Ava Studio campaigns with Pudgy holders, where every Pudgy character can be made as an AI agent that are used for video generation via Ava Studio. And we do have other partnerships, which I can't speak for right now, but happy to update as they come along. But they're of the same caliber of IPs and from both Web2 and Web3 space.
Anything else you'd like to share with our audience?
So I'd like to share that please stay tuned for our upcoming TGE for Holo. And to participate right now, you can stake Ava token and be still eligible for the airdrop for Holo. And similarly, for Hololaunch, when we do launch a product, there will be a way for content creators as well as stakers to join in on the new project launches. So stay tuned for our new upcoming product releases for Hololaunch and Ava Studio.
Okay, thank you for joining us and sharing your insights today.
Thank you for having me.
Mm-hmm.